Look Before You Sleep is an incredibly alright episode. I remember this one being the episode where Applejack and Rarity hate each other, and then they don't. After an episode where all of Equestria was in danger, having an episode that's just a slumber party between three of the characters is kind of relaxing. It's just a down-to-earth story about horses doing normal horse things, I guess. The episode starts with Rarity and Applejack removing loose branches from trees in Ponyville. Apparently, Ponyville needs to get some extra rain because of a missed shower, so they're removing branches from the trees. Because horses. Rarity comments on how awful rain is, and then it starts raining. Good time in there, Pegasi. Applejack and Rarity take shelter at Twilight's house, and Twilight remarks on how Spike won't be in the episode. She then gets the idea that they should all have a slumber party. Of course, Applejack and Rarity don't really want to go along with the idea, since that would mean spending more time with each other, but the poor weather outside demand that they stay in for the night. Something I find interesting about this episode is the fact that there is conflict between Applejack and Rarity in the first place. To me, the season premiere gave me the impression that the main six were all friends. I was genuinely under the impression that the rest of the series would be the main six helping out others with their friendship problems. This episode completely disproves that whole line of thinking, which I honestly kind of like. By having some of the main characters not be friends, it allows us to see everyone learn about friendship, not just Twilight. It allows for relationships between the characters to change and grow, which I find very interesting. It's almost as if real people change and grow. The impromptu slumber party goes exactly how you'd expect, actually. Twilight brings up a thing to do, and Applejack and Rarity use it as a chance to harass one another. The plot is incredibly predictable, but it's still enjoyable, mostly in the ways that Applejack and Rarity work against one another. It may sound like I'm skipping over chunks of the episode, but the previous description of the slumber party perfectly describes what happens for the middle third of the episode. After some time, a tree near Twilight's house gets struck by lightning. I guess Twilight forgot to get rid of branches, I guess. Trying to take the initiative, Applejack lassos the top part of the lightning-struck tree and yanks it towards the ground. While a sound idea at first, the tree top ends up in Twilight's tree's top. Applejack and Rarity finally make up with one another, and work together to get the tree out of the tree. The slumber party continues without a hitch, and then the episode ends. Yep. It just ends. It honestly feels kind of abrupt, but whatever. The episode isn't bad. In fact, I'd say it's pretty alright. The issue I have with it is that it feels a lot like filler. You could argue the same for Dragonshy, but the climb up the mountain didn't feel like filler, as we got to see how the other characters reacted to Fluttershy and her screw-ups. In this episode, it's just Twilight, with the one reaction. Simply put, the lead-up to the end of the episode wasn't as exciting for me as it was in Dragonshy. Regardless, this episode is still enjoyable. The plot is entirely predictable, but the execution is still rather humorous. Sure, nothing too special happens, but it's certainly an episode I can watch and still get a few laughs out of. Not every episode has to be an epic adventure, and these slice-of-the-life stories show that it's totally okay to not have to save the world every time. That's all I have to say about Look Before You Sleep. Until next time, goodbye.